guys, thank you for joining us for this sermon mail. My name is Snaj Nicole.
And I'm Miguel Astrid.
And we are fulfilling our promise about tutorials here. And we thought that we start with the very, very basics of everything. Brushes. Brushes. So see behind us, we have probably about 100 of them now.
Yeah.
You can't have too many brushes.
Never.
You just can't have too many.
The thing about brushes, if you agree with me, kind of hard to get it all in one video, so we do plan to kind of stagger out our videos to get everyone's questions answered if we can. But this is going to be one of the very first videos we're going to release about brush basics, I guess.
Brush basics, yeah. We are starting with eye brushes for this particular video.
This one will kind of just be us showing the brushes themselves and explaining the differences between one brush and the other, and then kind of giving y'all some just different price points of brushes that we think you can shoot for.
Well, actually, because I know that you're quite proud of this, I actually got this for Astrid for Christmas this year.
She finally listened!
Yes. But no, I really know that she's like, it's those Morphe brushes, man. Those Morphe brushes.
Man,
so
I just want to see if they're good enough.
Yeah, and I mean, truth be told, they are. So this is the Morphe Catch My Eye. Now this, I got it kind of on sale. I don't know the regular price of this, but I do know that they still sell this particular one at Ulta. This comes with 6 brushes, and they all have their numerals on those brushes.
Okay, so we're just gonna go over it really quick and show you what each brush is and what its name is for Morphe. So the first one is the M167 Oval Shadow Brush, and that's M167.
Okay.
The very next one that they have in the collection is the M429 Duo Deluxe Crease Brush.
Ooh, that sounds fancy.
That sounds so fancy. Next one up is the M433 Pro Firm Blending Fluff Brush. Next one is M330 Blending Crease Brush. My personal favorite out of the entire collection. And then the next two are crease brushes. The first one is M574 Pencil Crease Brush.
Yeah, see that there? Okay.
All right, and the last one is the M321 Bullet Crease Brush.
All right.
Perfect. So now you kind of got to see what they all look like, even though it's just for like a split second. But we're gonna kind of go over each one, what it's used for in terms of your eyeshadow application, and then we're gonna go into some alternatives, her and I's personal favorites that we got from the drugstore.
Yeah.
So the first one that we talked about was the shadow brush. This is gonna be the brush that you're gonna use to apply your eyeshadow on your eyelid. So right now, what I have right here and what she has, that beautiful pink,
right there.
we had to use a shadow brush.
Yes, we did.
Looks like this.
There it is.
That's what it looks like. Say hi to my Band-Aid. Hey! It's gonna be your standard packing on shadow to your eyelid. So really quick, I'm just gonna go in with a really short demonstration. I'm using the ABH palette. And if the great thing about this type of brush, people that have smaller eyelids or don't have that much or have like monolids, you really don't want to get a flat brush or a shadow brush that
is really long.
It's like super long. You can just see the difference between those two. So this is more of like oval shaped versus the other one being more square, and then the other one has bristles that are just not as densely packed and they're a lot longer.
Right.
So the longer they are and the more spaced out they are, the less saturation you're gonna get of whatever color you're putting on yourself.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
It makes sense to me. I hope it makes sense to you guys.
So yeah, we'll be kind of doing like side by side later on future videos, but just to give you an idea, this is gonna be your basic brush. Everyone needs one of these regardless of what brand you're gonna use. You're always gonna need a shadow brush to apply your eyelid shadow.
Yes. So there's some alternatives to that. We do have Bestope. That's called
we still can't pronounce this.
I don't know, but it came off of Amazon, and so this is basically Amazon's version of it right here. It has very similar quality to Morphe, which is amazing because it's a fraction of the price. We'll have that brush set in the link below. But yeah, so that's one. And we also have a couple of drugstore options. This is Elle's version of that. And then also Wet n Wild. I think Elle's version might have been $1.50. Wet n Wild is $1 at the Dollar Tree. So because that's such a common brush and you're going to be using it all the time, you can find those for $1 elsewhere with decent quality. But again, you do kind of get what you pay for. So you know.
It's true. I think out of these two, I know I'm going to ask you that question next, but out of these two, I would actually prefer the Wet n Wild one.
Same.
And I'm going to tell you why. Because anytime I'm going to put a color on my lid, like if I'm going to take that effort to put shadow or makeup on, I want the color to be saturated. I'm not looking for a barely there look, okay?
Same.
So I'm going to just do it really quick. Hopefully it'll kind of focus. But whenever you are looking at a shadow brush, right? If you move your fingers through it, if it's moving that easily, that means the color that you're just going to apply with this brush is not going to be that saturated. As opposed to that Bestow brush that Tunez just pointed out. Really quick, we're gonna run our hands, or not our hands, but our thumb through it. You could see that it's kind of, it's a little bit more forceful to run it through my thumb. So that right there is gonna be a good indicator whenever you guys are out
You're
shopping.
And yeah, you can feel it.
Feel it out and see, okay, you know, this is giving me a little bit more kickback when I try to run my finger through it.
Blending brushes. Now these are things that I am new to. I'm very new to blending. I'm used to working with just one brush and making it work, but I've learned, honey, that is not the way. So it's just not the way. So this is the Morphe M330 blending brush right here. It's a very lovely blending brush. You can see here, like she was pointing out with the density with it. It's pretty dense. Even for a blending brush, you want it to be fluid, but also have, I would say, some rigor to it, because if it's too fluffy, it'll disperse everything without control. You want it to disperse but still have some control, which is why this is such a lovely brush. One that we both enjoy a lot that's an alternative is this e.l.f.
Oh man, I love this brush.
This is a fantastic one. I think this brush is $3. This is the Fluffy Eye Blender brush.
Amazing.
You can see the composition of it is actually very similar to the other one.
Let me hold it up really quick just so you guys can get like a side by side.
Yeah, they're very similar to each other. And this one is like half the price of this one.
Yeah, I would say the e.l.f. one has a lot more bristles and it's a lot more spread out. But I mean, in comparison, I would say these do a very good similar job. Do they do the same? No, but it's similar.
Yes, and so these are some other drugstore alternatives. So this is the one that came from Amazon. Now, this isn't a bad brush, even though it doesn't have the same look as the blending brushes do.
Yeah.
It still does the job well. So like if you're getting it in a set, that's nothing to knock at. But these were some other ones. This one's just called Crease. I disagree that this is a crease brush. This is very much a blending brush.
This is the Equate line.
Yeah, this is the Equate line from Walmart. And this is Wet n Wild.
Oh, that's a fantastic one
This is a very good one too. This also came from Dollar Tree. The Wet n Wild one isn't bad if you can find it at the Dollar Tree.
It's not. And sometimes also CVS has it on sale for like 67 cents. So you can find that too. That's a great one. But those are some really good ones. I would say that and the shadow brush.
Those are your two. Those are the ones. If you can only have two, those are the ones you.
And let me tell you something. If you're using a little applicator, it comes with these eyeshadow kits. Put that down. And the next one up from that one is going to be the M433, and this is going to be the Pro Firm blending blush brush, and we're just going to show you one more time what it looks like. So this reminds me very much of a shader brush. However, the bristles are a lot longer. It has the like shadow brush shape, but it has a different fill. If that makes sense.
Yes, it does. And I think that's very good for when you have very harsh colors that you are trying to blend together. A lot of work for you when you are trying to figure out how to blend colors together. The alternative for that one, actually, we had some trouble finding ones like that. This came from a beauty supply. This is called Nika K. We've talked about that line before. Blending brush like that. And this is also from the Bestow line that we got off of Amazon. You're probably not going to find one like that necessarily at the Dollar Tree like we found the other ones, because it's a dual one. It does a couple of things and it's more advanced stuff. So
but that was a really good point. That would actually be a really fantastic one for color.
Now we're talking about the pencil crease brush, and that's what this is right here. Now this one's very, very specific, and actually we don't have a drugstore dupe for this one. It's just,
I mean, we kind of do.
We kind of do, but
we'll have an honorable mention.
Yeah,
you know,
crease brushes are very specific. You only should be using it for your crease, and it's because of its shape and its density. You are not going to get to do anything else outside of blending out your crease. And that's for like how this shade is right here for me. I use a blending crease brush because it's literally just this section your crease. Only right here is where you can work that in. And the reason why is because it almost fills in the shape of your eye right there. You guys can see that. It fills in the shape of your eye. So it's almost like it's digging in there, but it's moving the color around and just only where you put the brush. So it's very specific. I do think it's a little advanced, but once you guys see its purpose, you're like, yeah, I would definitely like to have one of those.
And our honorable mention is from the e.l.f. line. This is e.l.f. Eye Crease Brush. And it's going to look very, very similar. The only thing is the brushes in this are a little bit different, and I could feel the fact that they move a lot easier than the Morphe one. So your product is going to be a little bit more diffused on the eyelid as opposed to the Morphe one, which is a lot more concentrated. So I will take it to Tunaj now to go into the next and final brush.
Yes, so this is called the Bullet Crease brush. Bullet Crease brush. And basically it looks just like that little brush that we just saw here, but smaller. Smaller. Now, I love little brushes like this. These are my Achilles heel. I will use little brushes like this all the time and do all the work that it's not supposed to do. I force them outside their little boxes, but this little brush you see is very taut again, but you can use this to tight line your shadow like that. Tight lining it, it'll get in there like that, and it basically is supposed to diffuse colors that you place on top of each other. So it's there to literally just to make everything look seamless. I usually use very intense colors and some that don't necessarily blend together well. Using certain brushes will pull that together versus, you know, you don't want it to look like stark lines all the time.
If you've ever seen a video where someone is applying eyeshadow to their lower lash line, that brush is spectacular
for something
like applying, and I would say also like diffusing that color. So I hope that really helped to kind of get the basics in, at least to give you a visual what the different brushes look like, give you some alternatives. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like always, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed already, go ahead and join the Rumor Mill family. Hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell, because as you know, as I said, there will be more videos about brushes. So that'll be coming out soon.
Yes, and also go to Instagram. That's @RumorMeal, RUMORMEAL. And also we have our lookbook. It's live. It's rumormill.com. So please check us out.
All right, guys, we'll see you guys on our next one.
Bye.
Bye.